Local leaders assembled behind one message: the county needs stronger leadership. The argument arrives as Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara calls the current system a cabal.
As of now, it's on county board members to manage county staff. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley attended a news conference where area mayors pleaded for change.
It's what some might call leftover concerns from the days of previous leadership. Area mayors say it's time to clean the plate and restore effective governance in the county.
A county run by a cabal isn't a county run for you.
Leaders across Winnebago County draw battle lines in support of the board chairperson.
It is time to restore the authorities vested that the people of Winnebago County voted for.
The county chair once held the power to hire and fire staff. It's been nearly a decade since that was removed. Rockford and Loves Parks mayors want the responsibilities returned.
They want to work with somebody that they can work with, and that's Joe Shirelli.
Some claim the chair's powers are in the hands of the county board's Republican caucus.
We are not looking for bias. We're looking for holistic approaches.
Mayor Tom McNamara points to one person as the concern.
County board member Paularina.
You know, the nature of county government is that it's designed to be run by a group of people rather than a single individual.
The Republican caucus leader argues responsibilities should be in the hands of the board.
The chairman's position is something that's delegated to by the board based on how the government is structured.
That structure doesn't work. It casts confusion.
Those advocating for change call it common sense, especially as the message unites leaders across party lines.
This is actually something the vast majority of our county is unified behind.
We all need to have one direction that we set in 2020, and that direction is progress.
Chairperson Shirelli expects an ordinance returning the power to move through the county board in the next month. The proposal must be approved by the Republican majority.
Thank you, Nathaniel. And Paularina says he did not expect to be called out at today's news conference. He throws his support behind an ad hoc committee exploring changes to chair powers.